So, after finding out what the employer wants, what you have to do now is to think about how you are going to prove that you have those skills and abilities and qualities. And it is about knowing the places that you can find the evidence that you need to show that you actually fit into this criteria. The first place, obviously, that many students look up to is their education, and it is about the courses you have taken in school. Some students may like to evidence the courses they have taken in school. Some students would like to talk about their results. Now, if you are in school, you probably have not graduated yet, and so you don't know what your final CGPA is. But you can actually predict what your final CGPA could be. For instance, if you're in final year, and you can put that okay, you have currently a first class CGPA. One important thing to keep in mind is that you don't need to list out all the courses you have taken in school. Rather, a better approach would be listing out the key modules that are relevant to the job that you are applying to. Aside that, it's also very, very important not to overlook soft skills. Soft skills, even though not displaying specialist knowledge, also show how you are able to use transferable skills in other circumstances that you can bring to the new job that you are applying to. So don't overlook soft skills. Have you worked in teams? Have you given presentations? Do you have good creative writing abilities? Are you good with working with web development apps or digital? Do you have digital abilities? Do you design? Do you have graphic design skills and all those things? Those are very, very important skills that you can evidence in your CV. Another way to look at evidence could be your experience. Even though your education is the first point of call for most students to show evidence, you can also look at your experience. And now you're, as a student, you're probably wondering that you don't have working experience, so how do you show evidence of working experience? But aside from working in a proper job, you most likely would have participated in some volunteering and voluntary activities. If you've worked with if you volunteered for causes around your community, maybe in your church, in your local mosque or your youth association, this is the place to begin to show that evidence. Have you undertaken part-time jobs as a student? You probably would have maybe worked in the UK here. Most students work while studying. They volunteer for they take up part-time jobs in different areas of tourism, hotel management, restaurants. Some students work in bars, and this, if you have that type of experience, this is the place to show it. And you're probably wondering, um, there are lots of this type of opportunities also in Nigeria. It's just that most students don't focus on it. You also might have taken up an IT or internship or work experience scheme during your studies as an undergraduate. Now, this is the place to begin to think about what are the things that I learned while undertaking this type of internships, job shadowing, and how can I bring it to bear in the job I'm applying for. You might also have participated in a mentorship scheme. Did you mentor somebody or were you mentored by somebody? What did you learn from this experience and what can you bring into the new job that you are coming into? In addition, you possibly have attended a lot of conferences, events, you've volunteered for all these things, you've held responsibility as a student in different organizations in campus. This is the place to begin to take the lessons you've learned, the skills you learned from this, and evidence it. Finally, many students are probably thinking, yeah, the experiences I have, they don't seem to be relevant to what I'm applying for. I'm telling you that there's a whole lot of things you can actually take away from all these ad hoc experiences that you've got. If you put it together, if you've worked in a restaurant as a on a part-time basis, you've worked in a bar on a part-time basis, you've organized events on campus, You probably have learned how to manage people, how to work with teams, how to make presentations, how to design event flyers. All these are skills that are relevant to almost any job. And if you bring that to bear, you'll be amazed at what skills you can evidence.